By the time this is out, it'll be a couple of hours before the league starts, so to the 10 people watching this, hello. I was following like 10 different builds for the league start before I got any info about the new static strike. The static strike will gather in lightning, and after I saw the numbers, I was really interested in playing this as my starter. The way I would describe the new static strike mechanically is that it's the multi-strike lightning strike of Arcane hybrid. You get these chains of lightning bouncing between monsters, but you have to actually hit an enemy with the melee attack first. The skill chains between enemies the more Gathering Lightning you have. You get a stack of Gathering Lightning on melee hit. You can get up to 12 maximum stacks, resulting at 96% more damage bonus. Each stack of Gathering Lightning has separate duration and does not refresh on getting new Gathering Lightning stacks. The base duration is 4 seconds. So scaling pretty much opposite to regular static strike. Some things that I would highlight and not currently known from the ZiggyD showcase. Does the static strike double hit with extra strikes? For example, you hit him up with chain, and then the ancestral copy hits with a melee attack. If so, it has potential to be over 1300% effectiveness strike skill on a single target. It may be a hateful accuser angle. The other question is, do you get the Gathering Lightning if you don't hit an enemy, but the ancestral copy does? Based on all this, we're not hit with this skill fast, and most importantly, make sure that we actually hit something. I've prepped 2 PB setups. They are to be treated more as ideas rather than just blindly following them, especially for the first one. First one utilizes fast-hitted two-hander physics and elemental damage conversion. Trauma support is one of the best damage supports available, and the flag we get from Trauma also contributes to total elemental damage. This introduces the problem of damage being tied to ramp, for both Gathering Lightning and Trauma. If you wish to do so, you can push it even further with global skill effect duration on the tree. There is some fortified scaling going on, with replica badge and max fortification passives on the tree. Out of this, worth highlighting a set of overleach forbidden jewels for comfort, and the rest is generic res. While this looks solid, the scaling capabilities are kinda limited. It's pretty tanky though, so if that's what you're after, you can pick this one up. The other one is a one-hander sword or claw. There are some differences in the tree, but the gems and items are very much the same. The biggest upside for claws is the base crit, and because of this you can scale crit easier and take stuff like Cullen Strike on Slayer. The thing about swords is that even though Jewel Foil and other foils have crit multi implicits, their base crit is kinda terrible. Even if you get max roll crit chance, it will be still below 8%. Because of this, I'm doing some changes with the Slayer. I'm taking Overwhelm. And now because I cannot get to Headsman, I'm also dropping Bane of Legends. I like Headsman a lot, but I don't really like Bane of Legends that much. Because of this, I'm taking Impact, but you can also take something like Endless Hunger for defenses, maybe even the Bloodline. As I mentioned before, we actually have to hit an enemy to get Gathering Lightning, and because of this I'm going for quite a bit of melee strike range. In the mapping scenario we're getting something around 2.6 meters on the claw, which is not terrible for one-hander, but you cannot really compare this to sword. That's what we get here. Quite a big difference, right? So where it's coming from, one, impact, and the other part is the Blade Dancer, Soul Cluster, and Sword Mastery. And on top of this, the Jewel Foil has, with the enchant, 1.6 meter range, whereas the Claw has 1.3, which results into a lot bigger melee strike range. Another moment worth highlighting is that because we are running swords, you can do something like Val Smite, and there are a lot of spare gems to use, like look at my Whirling Blades. And because of this, you can get an aura for extra flat damage, at which point your damage is pretty much the same. But I'll take it off because it will be a bit of a padding. For me, it is projected to be something like day 3-4 gear. Obviously, there might be a case that something like Relic Cash will be ridiculously expensive, in which case you just run in Dark Rays and drop in the Arm's Anguish, run in the new Blight base build, and knowing something for 10+% more damage and just chilling. A couple of words for leveling. I'm gonna do Econ. I know there are people who like Elemental Hitmar. If you like Elemental Hitmar, just pick it up. The path-in for the most part is pretty similar for both of them, and the amount of points I have to respec even out of Econ, where I don't have something like strike range and I take projectiles, is still not that much. So my plan here is Level 1, Spectral Throw. If you want to be efficient, you take Shield Charge Momentum in your offhand and just get in through the Act 1 a lot faster. At level 12, P-Conk. At level 28, E-Conk. I'm gonna respec out of E-Conk to Static Strike run around Merc Lab, and I'll start on Static Strike as a dual wielding setup, and then later I swap to crit. There are two moments that I think are important before I would recommend swapping to crit. One is you have to have a solid weapon with flat rolls as well as the crit chance. It's easy to get on claws, but maybe I'll do foil and do overwhelm earlier. We'll see. I would like to drop all of my accuracy points on the tree and get hits cannot be evaded. There are 3 ways to get it. 1, you benchcraft it. Keep in mind that now it will be 4 exalts instead of 1. Exalts should be more common as well. The second option, you can get a Fractured Veiled modifier. In this league, we got a new Atlas passive on the tree, which makes it so that 5% of the Veil items you get will have a Fractured modifier on it. And because of this, there will be Fractured Vegan modifiers. And then you, I don't know, spam essences until you get a solid weapon. And option 3 is, as usual, get the cost a day. Here I highlighted some unique items for the progression. If they are ridiculously expensive, then obviously don't buy them. But if they're pretty cheap and out there, then obviously you can utilize them for easier progression. And yeah, that's it. Pretty excited for this league. I was waiting for some endgame shakeup for a couple of years at this point, so I'm pretty stoked to see how that will play out. Both the endgame and the build. As a side tangent, it's a bit unfortunate that the release date for probably the most exciting league in a while coincides with the release of the game that I was waiting for the last couple of years. But I'll have my fun in Slay the Spire later, whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you around.